Hello, beautiful souls. My name is Anastasia Michelle. Welcome to my channel. I'm a quantum healer, life coach, and Kundalini Yoga teacher. And here on this channel, we'll talk about ways to nurture your body, mind, and spirit so you can achieve greater levels of well-being. So welcome. If you're new to the channel, make sure you check out the health disclaimer and a little bit more about me in the video link that was at the beginning of this video. So today we have a really great topic, and I'm excited to share with you these 7 powerful books for self-healing. These books really do have the power to change lives. They were instrumental in my own recovery, and I think they have so much to offer the world, and I'm really excited to get into this. So 7 powerful books for self-healing. And this is, holistic perspective. First book, Cured by Jeffrey Rediger, MD, Strengthen Your Immune System and Heal Your Life. So this book came to me when I was on the threshold, really, of life and death. I had been given a terminal diagnosis, cancer, 4 months to live. And this book came to me at that time and it was a beautiful awakening for me because it speaks to a lot of people's stories who recovered from terminal illness and these kind of terminal diagnosis. So he goes into these specific stories and also talks about how when somebody does have a spontaneous healing or a miraculous recovery, those accounts are not taken into the statistics. So that's really important to consider when you are getting these diagnoses from doctors. It's what they know, but it's not the whole picture. And so Cured by Jeffrey Rediger, really wonderful book. Oh yes, and all these books will be listed below in the description. So if you want to check them out more, go ahead and check that out at the end. All right, next, number 2, Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. This is Louise Hay was a beautiful visionary. She healed herself from cancer, started a huge movement on mind, body, understanding how our thoughts and beliefs really can cause chronic issues and affect our life in a variety of ways. You Can Heal Your Life is a beautiful book about transforming your thought and belief systems into something that actually powerfully changed your life. And I was reading this when I had my miracle recovery. So I think it's very profound. She was speaking about the power of self-love and transforming toxic kind of belief patterns that hold resentment and how that can lead to some chronic illnesses, including cancer. And in this time, I just started to really implement her practice of changing this inner dialogue to something that was more uplifting, more about self-love. And when I did that, I had a powerful dream that my cancer would be healed. And it was within that week in a miraculous recovery. And so it's taken me a long time to fully recover from that. However, I did have the miracle recovery at that time while I was reading this book. So I find it to be super powerful. And at the back, there's actually a list of common chronic issues and what the mental or emotional effects might be. Like, so for example, it might suggest like anger for carpal tunnel or things like that, fear for digestive issues. I can't remember exactly them, but it's not 100%. It's different for each person, but this gives you a really great way to start to look and understand how our belief systems and our emotions and our thoughts affect our body. So Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life, really beautiful book. All right, number 3, The Myth of Normal, Gabor Mate, MD, Trauma, Healing, and Illness in a Toxic Culture. So this book I find to be incredibly important, and I hope a lot of people will read it and get into his work because Gabor Mate has a huge repertoire of work he talks about addiction, illness, mental health, a lot of different things from a lens of how social structures can create some of that, and trauma creates some of that chronic issues. And in the myth of normal, he really goes into chronic health issues, especially for women, and how different social pressures will cause chronic stress, which down the line will lead to these issues. So I think it's a great, great book. And there's a saying that I know is tension is who you think you should be, and relaxation is who you are. And so I think this book really speaks to how we normalize chronic stress and how that impacts our body very adversely. Our body definitely has to be in a relaxed state to heal. And so understanding that, connection is really important for any type of healing, and really for a fulfilling life. You want to be able to feel relaxed. So he also puts it in a way that it's very empowering. Like you have some control over, like if these issues did happen in your life, how we can regain control and bring that into helping us transform illness. So that's Gabor Mate. All right, next, Radical Remission, Surviving Cancer Against All Odds. This is Kelly Turner, PhD. It breaks down 9 key factors that she found all cancer survivors to have. So these 9 key factors are a really brilliant way to show how our mind can affect the healing process, and that there is things that we can do to create a healing environment. And like from the beginning, when I was talking about the book Cured, it helped me develop this mindset that I knew it was possible for me to heal. When I saw all these other stories of people who healed, then I knew it was possible. And then Kelly goes a little bit and deeper in the specific factors that you can bring into your life to help bring about healing. And it goes from, diet to things that are less known, like having laughter every day. So it's a really beautiful book. And they do their own coaching, radical remission coaching, and things like that. I offer life coaching as well for folks, but they have their specific radical remission coaching. Thanks. So next up, meditation as medicine. And that's Dharma Singh Khalsa, MD, and Cameron Stath. And this book has been on my shelf for a very long time, maybe even 20 years. I've gone back to it many times. One of the things that I remember very clearly is I think there's a study in there about how our mood, like our level of happiness, if we're happy, it actually creates a immune system environment. Our immune system actually gets stronger. So if it's cold season, try to maintain some happiness, and it will boost your immunity. These are this is in some research, and actually quite a few of these are research-based books. So yeah, so that's really amazing. Activate the power of your natural healing force uh, is really a lot of these meditations do. So this is speaking about actual Kundalini Yoga meditations. And we see from these meditations how we can calm our mind, create the environment for healing and health. And while there are meditations that are very specific that can heal specific conditions, overall, what I found when I was doing my meditations through my disease process was that they created a mental clarity and strength, inner fortitude that helped me advocate for myself and to stay calm. So it's very common to put people that are going through cancer treatment on mood modulating kind of medications like lorazepam. And I was able to not do that. However, my heart really goes out to anybody who's in that process because the anxiety, the fear, everything was really overwhelming. And at one point, I thought I would have to go on a different kind of medication. However, when I was doing the meditations, it kept me balanced and hopeful. And even at my darkest hour, I was able to maintain clarity and not let that anxiety overwhelm me. So, meditation as medicine. Spontaneous Healing by Dr. Weil. So this one is a little bit of an older book, but it's still really great and very, very practical. So Dr. Will breaks down a holistic health foundation that you can create that will help you heal your body. And so I love this as a bridge book. If you're new to holistic health, it's great. It kind of really gives you some really basic pointers to really start on your holistic health journey. And I found that to be a really helpful book in a lot of different ways. It also gives a lot of stories about how mindset can help bring healing. And reading those stories helps you understand the disease process, and I think really can bring a lot of hope when people are going through these types of things. So I think that is a really important book as well. All right. And last but not least, I'll mention my book. It's called A Prayer for a Luna. And this one is definitely more on the spiritual side, but I talk about how by reconnecting with the natural world and the natural environment, we create the conditions for health. And essentially, I consider the body to be a seed for the soul, and the seed is going to blossom into the soul potential. However, it needs the right environment. And all of these books are helping us create that environment so that the seed can flourish. So my book specifically talks about going into nature with gratitude and how that can create healing for mind, body, and spirit. Talks a little bit about my cancer journey and just a really profound book about indigenous wisdom and how we can heal ourselves and heal the planet. So all of those books are going to be below. All of these authors have more work, interviews, and things like that online that you can check out if you just want a snippet, don't want to jump into the whole book. I think they all have really great work and a lot to offer. And so I really do hope that this video was helpful and you can check out some of these things and continue on your health journey. All right, thank you so much. Make sure to check out the next videos on quantum healing and let me know if you have any questions. Take care.